guys, Offline Gamer here. Today we're going to take a look of a 2014 Spiel des Jahres nominee, Splendor, by Marc-Andre, released here in the United States by Asmodee Games. It's a game where you're a jewel dealer that you're going around getting jewels to buy specific cards to be the first one to reach 15 points in the game. How does the game play and how does it look? Let's take a quick look at that. We'll come back here and get my final thoughts on what I think about the game. Alrighty guys, so here we have a two-player setup of the game Splendor. As you can see, there are several cards set up here. There's level 1 cards which are green, level 2 cards which are yellowish, level 3 cards which are blue. And depending on what level they are is how difficult they are to actually pick up. The green level 1s are going to be your easiest ones, and if you notice there's going to be some colored circles which represent the gems that you're going to have to get to be able to pick up those cards. The gems are represented by these poker chips here that, as you can see and you can hear, they're really solid, good weighted chips. And you're going to use those to go ahead and pick up on your turn. So on your turn, you have the option of a couple of actions. You can either get one chip from 3 different colors, except for the gold, which are wilds, or you can get 2 chips of the exact same color. However, there has to be a minimum of 4 chips in the stack for you to be able to pick those up. So on a turn, a player will grab 3 of one chip, 2 of the other. The other option that you do have is you can reserve a card that's down on the table. If you do decide to reserve a card on the table, you can actually pick that up into your hand to buy it into the future, and you will actually pick up one of the gold jewels, which can be a joker or a wild. Now you are allowed to only hold up to 3 cards in your hand. So you can sit there and go and reserve a card. And the other big thing about reserving a card is if you happen to run out of the stack of the gold gems, you will still be able to pick up your card, but you will not get a gold gem for it. So on your turn, you can either do, like I said, take 3 gems from separate colors, 1 each of 3 separate colors, 2 gems of the same color, or you can also purchase any of the cards that are down on the table. Now, to purchase a card that's down on the table, like to give you an idea, this white diamond card that's here, you would need 1 blue gem, 1 green gem, 1 red gem, and 1 black gem. Once you purchase that card, that actually sits out in front of you, and if you notice, in the top right corner of the card, you permanently now get a white gem. So as the game progresses on and you collect more of these cards, you'll actually start to build up gems that you're going to get from round to round, which is how you're going to end up getting some of the more expensive cards, like the level 3 cards that we have here. You need 7 blue gems to get, but when you look at on a 2-player game, there's only 4 blue gems available for you to pick up. So between the cards that you have laid out in front of you, plus the gems you could pick up off the board, you're going to end up picking up those and get it. So if you notice on some of the higher-ended cards, you actually have in the upper left-hand corner a number. Those are the victory points that you're going to get for those specific cards. So the idea of the game is to get 15 total points, 15 or more total points first, before the other player can. Now, the nobles that are on the top, in a 2-player game, you basically get 3 nobles. Those are these guys that are sitting up here. The way to have them come to you is you actually need to get cards with the gems. So this noble who's worth 3 points, you need to have 4 blue gem cards, 4 green gem cards. Once a person has one of those, they go to that player specifically and they keep them. So it's a way to kind of get points that you're going to have to help get you to your victory point, your victory goal. And basically players will go back and forth, taking their turns of taking either their 3 different colored gems or 2 of the same colored gems, buying cards until you reach the 15 points. Now, the big thing about this is as the game goes out and people start buying cards, you will basically flip over a new card reveal what it is, and you continue playing. And it goes back and forth like this until somebody reaches the 15 points. Once that person reaches the 15 points, game comes to an end, you have your winner, and that's how you play Splendor. There you guys have Splendor. So, my thoughts for me of this game are, when I first actually saw the game laid out and everything like that, I looked at it and I said, you know, this looks pretty easy. Didn't look like there was a lot of strategy to the actual game itself. But as my wife and I started playing the game, we did notice that you do have to be careful on what choices you make when making your choices, because it will affect it in the long run, and it does change the pace that the game goes. So it looked very, very deceivingly easy, but as the game went on, we did notice that, yeah, there is a good bit of strategy to this game itself. I can easily see why it was one of the 2014 nominees for the Spiel des Jahres. As far as component quality, one of the things that I thought was really, really great, the jewels that you use to pick up, they use poker chips, like nice weighted, heavy-feeling poker chips, which is something that makes you feel like this thing is going to be sitting around for a good while, which is great because they could have gone cheaper and gotten flakier bits for the game, and it would have really taken away from the game itself. So I'm glad that they made the decision to go ahead and use these heavier poker chips in it, because it definitely does feel like this is going to have a good bit of sustainability for you to be able to keep the game. I like the fact that when you set the game up, there are random of the little lords that come by to visit you, and depending on how many players there are in the game is how many of them that there are in the game, which is pretty interesting. Just the same as how you take away some of the jewels from the actual piles depending on how many players, so it does add a bit more strategy to it. I do like the rule where to be able to get 2 of the same color gem, there has to be a stack of 4 there, which when you're playing a 2-player game makes it, you know, much more critical because you only have 4 jewels to start out with. So if another player or your opponent decides to take 1 jewel of the ones that you want to get 2 of, you can't grab the 2 from that one pile. So there is that bit of strategy where I know you may be wanting to go for a specific jewel, and I may just take 1 just so that you can't get 2 of those color. So it is very, very well done in that respect. I like the fact that just as you go along, it's like an engine building machine. So you start small with some of the lighter cards to get some of the jewels, which will in turn get you the better cards towards the end, which is really, really neat. It really meshes very well together as well. The theme, it's just kind of plastered on. Like I didn't feel like this, you know, great gem dealer that was going around and getting these gems and making these deals. But the artwork on the cards is great. Just the flow of the game is very well done. And again, component-wise, very, very well done. For me, this is definitely a definite buy, 9 out of 10. If I were to knock 1 point off, it would just have to be that right now. I mean, we haven't played it a lot, but I could see maybe the replayability may get a little stale further down the road, you know, once we've played it a whole bunch of times, which in that case can easily be resolved by them releasing an expansion pack for it and adding more variety to the game itself. So it's a great game that's gotten a lot of buzz since Gen Con last year. For me, picking it up, it was a good buy for me. So I would definitely say if you are thinking about it, consider picking it up. It is a fun game to play. Again, guys, click like and subscribe to the channel. You'll find the links to our Twitter channel and Facebook page down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, get out there and game. Take care.